All right. So I don't know if I should be making a video on this. That being said, I want to, I guess. I made a video about the topic to begin with, so I guess we'll go over the update. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. So let's go through it. All right. Hi Maplers. We would like to provide you with an update regarding the removal of 2x a drop special coupons from the cash shop recently announced in our recent post. You know, low popularity and all. When we reviewed the purchase data for these items while considering the removal, we saw that the cumulative made up about 0.28% of the total item sales. We came to the conclusion that including 2x coupons are not heavily used by players considering the small purchase number, and have determined that their removal would not significantly impact your gameplay experience. Now let's keep this in mind as we read the post more, okay? This particular line, let's keep this in mind, okay? Gameplay, it will not, right? Would not significantly impact your gameplay experience. However, after the announcement that the sale of these low popularity items will be discontinued, we saw a lot of feedback from you that the 2x special coupons, the drop coupons, are frequently used by players and are not low popularity items like the others in the list. The reactions we saw were contrasting to the data we had reviewed, so we investigated once more to see if we have made any points of misunderstanding of the purchase data. After investigation, we found that there was an error in our data. You don't say. An error. For the purchase of 2x coupons using Maple points were not taken into account. The purchase data for the 2x drop special coupons alone, when including purchases made with Maple points, actually accounted for 2.11% of the total purchase of total item purchases, which is more significant than we have thought. Wow, insane. Unlike the other items in the list to be removed, 2x drop special coupons had an additional factor that contributed to the decision for its discontinuation. Except that wasn't stated in the original post. It was you only made it seem like it was a low popularity item, which it is not, because it is significantly higher than what you had previously thought, right? But let's continue. Right, there was this additional factor that was not communicated whatsoever, right? The removal of 2x drop coupons were based on two factors: our incorrect understanding of their usage trends and their impact on game balance. There it is. There it is. These coupons have a multiplicative stacking function, which allows the drop increase bonus to be much higher than what would be healthy for the game. An already small game, right? We incorrectly assessed that their removal of the coupons would not have a notable impact on players and gameplay, and have determined that a detailed message on the full context of the removal may not be warranted with what we thought was an indication of low usage trends for these coupons. We clearly made the wrong decision to present the information this way without providing you with the full reasoning behind the discontinuation. We deeply apologize for this miscommunication. Now, there's a lot before we get to the final part, right? There's a lot, you know. It's like it seems like you try to hide the fact that you want to remove these because of low usage, but in actuality, it's really about the second half, right? It's about their impact on game balance, right? That is the main part, right? This was just like the disguise, okay, this is the main part, the game balance, and that is fine in itself, right? It is fine to want to do something because you feel like it'll have a healthier long-term effect for your game, but not communicating that right away is how you fucked up, okay? Is how this is blown, you know, out of proportion and to the point where you have to release this, you know? Because calling something that low popularity when it clearly isn't, you know, shows that you don't understand your own game. And you know, you're essentially just lying to your community, you know? So this wouldn't have been a problem if it was properly communicated right away, right? But it wasn't, and it just feels very disingenuous. Okay, they do apologize for this, but you know, the damage has been done at this point, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're reading this. We now know. Now let's continue, right? Let's continue. We now know that the 2x drop special coupons are used more frequently by players than we had initially assessed, and we reviewed the removal of the coupons with the accurate data once again, right? So, you know, far more than what we have thought, you know. Even when reviewing the situation with the accurate data, the impact these coupons have on the game balance still remains a concern. Due to this overarching concern, we believe that it will be best for the long-term health of the game to proceed with the discontinuation of these coupon sales during our version 231 update maintenance. We apologize once again for the miscommunication we delivered regarding the removal of these coupon sales. Thank you, the Maple Story team. So, despite everything, right, despite initially hiding the real reason for the removal of these items, seemingly hiding it, right, because there were no plans to tell us otherwise, and you know, taking into account that people actually, this isn't a low popularity item, so that aside, right, the only reason is for the game balance, you know, because it's best for the long-term health of the game. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with that, right? I'm not going to raise my pitchforks, and I'm not going to necessarily disagree that it will be the best for, you know, the long-term health of the game. It might be, right? Honestly, it might be. But this is already having adverse effects, you know, on the communities, on non-reboot. At this point, I feel like people are just going to hoard whatever meso they have, let the market hyperinflate and wait till it stabilizes to then sell off. Progression, like, this is already going to affect the game in a negative way in itself, at least for the short term, right? And let's go back, and then let's go back to gameplay experience, right? It's not going to significantly impact your gameplay experience. It will significantly impact people's gameplay experience, right? In a negative way. I feel like progression is going to halt, you know, for the next short while, couple of months, whatever, at least maybe until Shining Star Force, I don't know. But this removal wouldn't be as bad if we had like KMS Star Force prices, right? With GMS Star Force prices and this removal to non-reboot, even with the 20% Star Force reduction, excuse me, it feels like a slap to the face, you know? It really does. Progression in this game is already terrible as it is in certain aspects, and this just it keeps adding onto what they see as not significantly impacting your gameplay experience. You know? I'm not surprised. I thought this memo would have gone exactly the way it did, you know. It's like, hey, listen, it's actually not a low popular item. It's, you know, it's actually pretty popular. That being said, you know, game balance, right? So because of game balance, you know, we're still removing it. So this update notice went exactly as I thought it would, you know, in one scenario. In the other scenario, I was thinking like maybe, you know, it's like, oh, they actually, you know, did reevaluate and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's actually a lot higher. And we apologize, we're not going to remove it. I really hope that this goes the way that they think it does, right? With actually impacting, you know, the game, that it will be for the best, you know, long term. But listen here, okay? It's fine to think about the long term, but you also need to think about the short term. There is no long term if you have no people playing, okay? And with how, like, you know, with how the game has been handled since the start of COVID, right? We can even go a little bit before that, right? But especially during COVID, right? With how this game has been handled and dealt with, there will be no long term if you don't take care of your short term, okay? They're both equally as important. There will be no long term if there's no one playing, okay? There will still be people playing, and this decision might be a move towards a more reboot centric, you know, environment for GMS, right? Stop playing reg server, go to reboot instead. Is that what they're telling us? I don't know, but that's how maybe a lot of people are going to take it. I feel like there were like some other things I wanted to say, but honestly, I'm not too sure at this point. I would love to know your guys' thoughts and you know, just, you know, leave them down in the comments down below. I do read everything, even if I might not reply to it. I do read everything. And listen, regardless of its flaws, MapleStory is still a fun game to a lot of people, including me, okay? I still enjoy logging on, you know, and maybe not necessarily doing my dailies, and no one likes doing dailies, but I like logging on and progressing on my characters, okay? Regardless if I spend money or not. As people say, to each their own, right? So I still like playing MapleStory. It's not a perfect game, and clearly it's not a perfect game. And despite its many shortcomings, it's still something that, you know, you can just hop on and waste time on, okay? Now that being said, you know, a lot of people might not feel the same way, and that is fine. Like I said, to each their own. You do what you enjoy and what makes you happy, right? I really want to see MapleStory, you know, change and, you know, move in a more positive direction, but with decisions like these, it's really hard to stay, you know, optimistic towards that dream, right? It really is. It really is. And I'm just sitting here and watching it all unfold, you know, and seeing what happens next. So I really hope that Nexon, with this decision, I really hope that they're right, you know, and that this will be the best for the long-term health of the game. But there may not be much game left, you know, by that point that they're trying to get to. So, you know, I'm still gonna keep playing Maple. Like I said, I still like and enjoy, you know, grinding on this game. You know, I have my own, you know, personal goals. So let me know your thoughts down below about the situation, about Maple in general. You know, this is an open conversation. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.